whatever we are using in the world is a byproduct of another waste.
Renew, reuse, and recycle. I know of a man that also used plastic to build a building somewhere in the north.
All wastewater generated from your premises should not go out of your premises.
It is inside waste. That's where the wealth is.
There are clothes you have not used in the past 1 year. Those clothes does not belong to you. They are waste to you. That means there are people outside there that needs those clothes.
Imagine a land where we don't have plastics on the road, but rather, as we make the plastic, is either we reuse them or we recycle them into something else.
So many people go to the markets and buy pepper, collect leather, buy onions, collect leather, buy tomato, collect leather, buy meat, collect double. In fact, double it for me. You understand? If you leave tire within your premises for too long, during the rainy season, go back there. You have built an apartment for mosquitoes.
Hi guys, you're welcome to this timeline. My name is Paul and with me here is
Joan.
And also we have a very senior officer in the building today in the person of Mr. Tijani.
Sanitarian, Egene Tijani Eneojo.
It's not
Sanitarian,
easy.
like Paul. Shansa.
You're welcome on board.
Thank you so much.
And I mean, it's so important that we talk about our environment because if our environment is not conducive enough, we won't be able to live inside. And today we'll be discussing the ways we can turn our waste into wealth. I mean, according to the World Bank, over 2 billion tons of waste is being produced year in, year out. Yet only 13% of this is converted is recycled into the economy. And that's why we're here to talk about how we can make money from the amount that we have left. And I mean, our topic today, turning waste into wealth, is well rooted in sustainability and also circular economy, ensuring that even after producing and then we have waste, we can turn our waste again into our wealth and spend our waste.
I thought I wanted to say I'll spend our money.
No, we'll spend our waste this time around.
Well, anyways, thank you so much for that's a very, very wonderful intro. I've really, really learned a lot, and I'm sure people listening have learned. So let's talk about how these waste can actually become innovations and wealth. And first of all, I think there's what we call recycling and upcycling. So recycling is just like you gathering these waste products, turning them into another upgraded version of what it can be. For instance, recycling of plastics, glass, metals. Like for plastic now, you can actually turn plastic into polymers and they can be turned into nylon and all that. So upcycling is just like, okay, you have a jean trouser and instead of throwing that jean trouser away, you can just convert that jean trouser into a tote bag or something like that. So it's very, very interesting when you look at recycling and upcycling. And also we have composting where organic...
Before you even go further with that, I know of recycling. I used to have this trouser then while growing up, and the trouser was made out of plastic. And for me, I treasured that trouser so much just because it was made from plastic. And I remember then, I think it was like 13 bottles of plastic bottles. And for me, it just felt different that I treated the trouser like something that was different from the rest of my trousers. It was so dear to me. Like I enjoyed wearing the trouser with so much pride actually. And I remember I didn't throw that tag away.
And I'm sure. So assuming the trouser is very big, you would have still be wearing the trouser too now. Try. But anyways, we have more of composting where we have organic manures, turning them into rich fertilizer, for our agriculture, for it to so Sean sir, just give us more innovations about from waste to wealth.
Thank you so much for having me. a lot of people do not know that they can actually make money from waste they generated.
Yeah.
And that is why they trash everything they have. And in their actions, you see that, it does not only reduce the economy, but also increase the high rate of disease burdens on the country or on the populations. So waste can actually be turned to wealth. If you go to some event garden, you see where they make use of tires as a table or as a seat.
Sometimes plastic and together with iron.
So ordinarily, you see that after the tire have exhaust the road activities, instead of throwing it away, they convert it into
center table,
and that thing can even be sold. If okay, for instance, if organizers who have these ideas have enough tires, don't you know that young man is making money from the waste that his customers left for him? So you can make money from the little things you are doing. As a matter of fact, shit business is a cool business. So
there's a saying in Yoruba that says "Igbelowowa." Is inside waste. That's where the money is. Yeah.
So shit business, a lot of people have neglected it, though it's capital intensive, but you can make cool money while sleeping from shit business. So
and I believe this thing you just talked about tires. I think I was watching one particular program some time ago, and there was this lady that she was just like, just watch now, I'm going to turn this tire, normal car tire, into something very beautiful. So me, I was like, what is she up to? So the next thing, she got the tire, used this suede material, very fine, and covered it very well. Then she now went to buy this round glass. Yes, and then put enough glue, kept on putting glue and putting glue. So I was just wondering, what is this lady doing? And the next thing, she just placed the glue on it.
Tire.
And after that, at that point, she was just showing us the only one that she did, how she did that particular one. So the next thing, she now videoed other colors, other materials that she has done, and everything was looking so beautiful. And the next thing, she was like, guess where this thing is going to? It's going abroad. She's exporting it. And I was like, wow. So is this how we can turn tire that are boss into something?
You see, another thing again is how there's, apart from now, we talk about tire, we talk about how you can use plastic. I know of a man that also used plastic to build a building. Sewing the knots as well. And then there's also this one where you can use we all pass dump in the house, where we have our sewage, where you can use your sewage as source of electricity. I don't know if you could shed more light on this particular one.
The thing is, that aspect, that is why I said shit business is a cool business. In some parts of the world, they channel their gas, what they use to cook, from even their toilets. You understand? There's a process where you can have your own cooking material from that through the biogas mediation. And you see that when you do that, the shit you are shitting is not longer a waste, because you are making use of it even in your own house.
Wow.
You understand? So when you talk of the biogas, you are talking of turning a shit. Have you ever gone to where there's a pit latrine?
Pit latrine.
Gone are those days, yes. The cycle of a pit, dog straight. As you defecate, it goes straight to it. When you take your eyes to that downside, you see microorganisms, aerobic activities going on that waste. As a result of that, you see that the water part of the shit, that is, after you defecate, you use water to raise yourself. Those waters goes there, and that water can be extracted from that shit while it is used or channeled for irrigation activities. And then the sludge part of it, at the end of it, can be used or turned into fertilizers. It is an industrial waste management. You understand? Though it is capital intensive, but then we can try it as time goes on.
Permits me to say it takes who have the mind to go into this kind of business, because I don't think, it's good, Sha, but let's move on.
Well, again, you see, with all of this that they were saying now, I mean, it talks about how we can actually look in our environment and say that, okay, this thing is going into waste. Let me see how I can just turn it to something beautiful, make something good out of it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you mentioned that of the waste, we mentioned tire, we mentioned this. And interestingly, right, it just brings us to the point where we see that our environment is more safe, is more conducive for us to stay. I mean, imagine that imagine a land where we don't have plastics on the road, but rather as we make the plastic, is that we reuse them or we recycle them into something else, try to make tables out of it, try to make chairs out of it, try to make buildings out of it, and things like that.
When you talk of those people, they are actually trying, you understand, because after you take the water or the contents from the sealed water or bottled water, what happened to the next? You throw it away carelessly. You see people in their vehicle after they finish eating or finish taking the water, they throw it away carelessly. Those things are not, they are not our practice. It should be controlled. You understand? As a matter of fact, if I take pure water sachets, maybe in the vehicle, I must put it in my pockets.
Exactly.
And take it home. Do you understand?
To dispose it
and
properly.
Take it home to dispose it properly. You understand? So some of those things cannot be decayed.
Yes.
And as a result, they keep on blocking our drainage systems.
Yes.
That is why, is it rainy season now?
No, it's not.
No, but all the gutter arounds are filled of water. Where is it coming from? Another thing is, majority of the people channel their wastewater from the bathroom to the public drainage system, which is wrong. As a matter of fact, the regulation says all wastewater generated from your premises must go or contained within your premises. Should not go out of your premises.
Wow, that's
the only water that is allowed from your premises is rainwater. And now there's no rainy water, but go around our drainage system, you see water. You see breaking pipe from the water board, channeling it into the...
The interesting thing is how you just see different things floating on the water. I mean, you see plastic floating on the water. You see styrofoam floating on the water. You see nylons floating on the water. A lot of things will just keep floating on the water.
And you know the funny thing, this particular water, when you are now walking on the road, somebody will now just carry his car, splash the water on you, and you will start wondering, what did I do to you? What did I do?
You understand?
And then the thing is that all of these places, right? Stagnant water is a breeding spot for a lot of organisms. I mean, mosquitoes, houseflies, a number of organisms can actually stay. Once the water is stagnant, just give it time. They are coming there.
And of course, it will start affecting the people living around that particular area, because this is where we're talking about mosquito now. We're not talking about mosquito, but it's still, everything is still back to your health.
People will now become prone to diseases and things like that. We'll go on a break now. Once we return, we'll continue the discussion on how we can turn our waste into wealth. We'll be right back.
Hey everyone, let's face it, our world today experiences numerous challenges. And guess what? Our community isn't off the hook either. Most of the world issues are either not talked about enough or never talked about at all. But here on Timeline, we've got you covered. We dive deep into issues that affect us every day, leaving behind footprints of wisdom, knowledge, and solutions. Think of it like a roadmap that keeps you on the track for success. So buckle up, because in this new season of Timeline, we're taking another trip through the past, the present, and navigate into a more promising future. Again, we're talking solutions, people, and let's make one thing clear. This is not your average blah, blah, blah convo. This is real talk with a side of inspiration and a sprinkle of wow. I never thought about it like that. I'm your host on this impactful ride. Together, we'll tackle the tough stuff, laugh a little, and find ourselves on the path to positive change. So what are you waiting for? Season 2 of Timeline will be loaded. Let's get started. Hop in, and let's drive straight into the heart of issues shaping our world. Let's go. Oh, one more thing. Hit that subscribe button and let's take this ride together.
Every day, Amazing stories of hope and tenacity unfold across the globe. On Hued Hour, we dive into these inspiring tales and discuss the vital work being done in the humanitarian and development space. Humanity has never faced a shortage of challenges, yet we rise stronger through teamwork and determination. Though these remedies are often underreported, on Hued Hour, we advocate sustainable solutions. We bring you the latest and most impactful news on how lives are being changed. We engage with young change makers and experts who provide valuable insights into relief efforts and the challenges faced by local communities through a global perspective. Join us every Wednesday by 8 a.m. on Hued Network's YouTube channel as we embark on this journey of positive change.
Yeah, welcome back. This is your timeline. We're discussing turning waste into wealth. According to the World Bank, they say that if we're able to transit into circular economy, it is possible for us to generate up to $4.5 trillion by the year 2030. And that just talks about how much you can generate from all of these things that we call waste, all of these things that are in our communities that are making our communities look dirty, all of these things in our communities that are making our community unbearable to stay. I mean, there's actually a large kind of pollution that can happen. I mean, there's the one of air, right? Where once there's stagnant water somewhere, and then the next thing you see is that such an area begins to smell. There's the water pollution. You see, every kind of pollution basically just happens. But if we're able to convert all of our waste into something else, try to recycle them. I know that there's this saying growing up that I used to watch on TV. Renew, reuse, and recycle. Like, and if we could actually do this, right, we just find out that the number of waste that we produce per year reduces, and also we generate more money in our environment.
Yes, I also, coming to the agricultural sector, I've actually said something about that, the organic manure that comes from most of our animals, like the cow dung, camel, and all that. Whenever
the one that people don't even look at more for is even that of chicken, because I mean that's like it's very, very potent. It works so much.
Is it because you used to eat chicken so much?
No, I just know that.
But anyways, like, true, bringing together all this waste from these animals actually help the soil. You know, it helps your plants to grow very well. It helps the soil to retain its strength and its fertility. Because I believe that when you use too much of fertilizer, you know, man-made fertilizer, it doesn't really give that soil the energy to produce, like, make the crop germinate very, very well. And it's actually cited in WHO. You can go and reference it and check. So anyways, what I'm trying to say is that agricultural sector is not left behind in this whole waste to wealth thing. It has actually helped our crops to grow well.
And also there's that of community development, because I mean, like, now if you are now taking your one way or the other, the waste in the community, probably you are converting it into the gas that you used to cook in the house, like that. The money that you're meant to be using to buy gas, for example, is what you are going to be using this time around to maybe to make the community look better, things like that. We won't have blocked drainages and things like that.
But definitely, sorry.
In the area of one of the best way to manage our waste is even to refuse it. You refuse the waste from your donor. Like, so many people go to the markets and buy pepper, collect leather, buy onions, collect leather, buy tomato, collect leather, buy meat, collect double. In fact, double it for me. You understand? From the point of this collection, you can reject it. You can refuse the waste. That is one. When you get home, then the one you cannot refuse or reject, you can do what we call reuse. That is why we make use of a canned tomato to measure rice, to measure pepper, to measure oil before we share it, or the use of a bottle to put granules. You know, ordinarily granule not supposed to be in bottle.
Yes.
But because we have to make use of reuse the bottle and instead of throwing it away, we put granules in the bottle. And some of those things, after you are tired of them, they can also be recycled into another product. As a matter of fact, whatever we are using in the world is a byproduct of another waste. Yes, whatever we are using is a byproduct of another waste. Take for instance the leather, that is the cow skin. They are using it to do what? Slippers, bags, shoes, and all those things. Those things ordinarily should be disposed, right?
Yes.
But we are making use of it to get another product. You understand? So many things has to be done for us to get it right. Money must be made from the waste you think is a waste. As a matter of fact, my idea have changed from waste to what is junk, because what can be a waste to you can serve as a raw material to another company, to someone else. You understand? Okay. Now, after you use the motor, maybe all these cars that has accidents beyond repair, what happened? You go to the Panteka, you see them, butcher it. Then have you ever seen a truck of vehicle load with full part of cars?
I've seen it.
Yes.
Iron condemn.
Yes.
All those things are being transported back to a company and then remodernize it into a different product. And then you still buy it again.
Exactly.
You get. So all this rubber you are seeing are byproduct of another thing. So it is good we refuse from the point of collection, reuse it at home, and recycle it into another product. It will help.
So that's refuse, reuse, and recycle now.
Yeah, 3R.
Exactly, 3R. I actually like that.
Well,
there are a number of challenges actually that we face. I mean, you've mentioned one of them, which is the high cost that it's cost, like off air, right? If you're saying that a truck of garbage truck costs up to like 50 million naira here in Nigeria. So it just shows how high, right, all of these things. So it takes proper investment. It requires high capital, like you called it. High capital if you are planning on going into such a business. So, and that's one of the challenges that people are actually facing in terms of turning this waste into wealth.
Sorry.
Okay. In that regard, you know, not everyone can afford the truck to start with. But if you can afford a pickup, you start from there. Or the use of keke nape, you can start from there. You must not have this whole lot of money before you go into it. If you start from keke, as the business progressing, you get into pickup. From pickup, you can have 2 keke, 2 pickup. Before you know it, you get money to get a higher vehicle that can even service other neighborhoods.
Exactly. And I think another challenge is that people will just stay and stigmatize some of these products and say, okay, because this one is no longer new, it is recycled, I don't want it, I want new one. So when you bring the one that they have not tear rubber, tear leather, so the one that they have not used before, that's the one that they want to buy, and the one that they've used, maybe they repainted or changed, they'll be like, no, I don't want to use that particular one again. So the stigma is actually there. So it will deprive these people that are actually going into the business that, okay, what's the point of going into it when we gather all these things finish and people will still reject it and say that no, they want the newer version of that particular product that is there. So
as a matter of fact, all hands are not equal. Definitely there is somebody somewhere that needs that product you pack at your compound for years. As a matter of fact, there are clothes you have not used in the past 1 year. Those clothes does not belong to you. They are waste to you. That means there are people outside there that needs those clothes. By giving out to them, you are helping them. By giving out the product that you are no longer using, you are helping other persons. Go to big men's office or their houses. You see a lot of cars that have parked for years without using. While somebody is struggling to even get a smaller one for himself. So those things are waste to you. You can sell it at a cheaper rate to people while they make use of it. It will help the society and help the level of criminality in our system.
I think another one again is how unaware we are actually, because I mean, if we have something now, for example, let's say we have, I have a tire, but I don't know that I have a car, right? And every year I change my tires. Like that's 4 tires I'm changing every year. And I don't know that, from this tire, right, I can get something else. If I'm not educated to that point, right, I see the tire as just waste and leave it at that. It should just be waste. But if there's proper education, like what we're doing now, sitting here and telling people that, you can actually turn this your tire into something different. You can even sell it to someone, or probably you give it to someone that makes this product, and then she just charges you for a small amount, right? And it gives you something beautiful that you can use in your house, in your gardens, and things like that.
Yeah.
So to add my voice to that, if you leave tire within your premises for too long, during the rainy season, go back there, you have built an apartment for mosquitoes.
Yes.
So why keeping them? And mosquitoes are carriers of vectors. They are carriers of diseases, Plasmodium species. We have Falciparum, ovule, malaria, and vivas. These are the four species of mosquito Plasmodium that is affecting us in this region, especially the Falciparum aspect of it. And that is why year in, year out, you go to hospital. What were you diagnosed of? Malaria. What were you diagnosed of? Malaria. So we can actually help ourselves to reduce the burden on the health, to reduce how it affects the environment, and improve the aesthetic condition of our environment. In so doing, money that is meant to be spent on treatment of malaria can be used to pay school fees.
So it's more like taking the money that we went to use on else, now bringing it back home, and then using it into something else entirely. So again, we mentioned all of these challenges that there is in facing all of these things. Now, what are those strategies that we can use to address it? Okay, how can you make it easier for people to, try to come into this business, like we call it, because there's a lot of money there. Maybe I'll actually change my business after this.
Now, it's very simple. One thing is that a lot of people are ignorant of the importance of what they have. And that is why in my going out, at least I've visited over 2,000 premises from July to now. And even from here, I am still going to visit more. And part of what I told them is that you have these fridges that you are no longer using. You have a heater that you are no longer using. You have a lot of things that you are no longer. Why can't you give this thing to the best staff of the year as a way of appreciating them? It will help them. They can go home and repair it, then begin to sell pure water or make use of it to do other things. So ignorance is one of the things, and that is why we are here to enlighten the public on how they can actually turn their waste into wealth. You understand? So a lot of people that I've met, I've encouraged them to turn whatever they're having into money. You can call an expert, though the scavengers have taken over the country. I appreciate the current minister who has the power to stop the activities of scavengers. All those people, Babambola, that are picking our road, iron, condemn. What do you think they are doing with it? They know there's money in it, and that is why they are selling it out. And people are buying it. That is very wrong. So a lot of people need to be aware that the little waste they have within their premises can be turned into wealth. And by so doing, they can pay school fees at ease, they can buy food at ease, and they can also relax and believe that something important is coming to their pockets.
Okay, and also in the angle of PPPs, that's the public-private partnership. I think by the time maybe government or NGOs, all these companies come together to partner with private, with the public people as well. Yes, they should come together and see that, okay, let's try to make it easier for people. Or if somebody wants to actually go into the business and the person does not really have the money to start it, somebody can just say, okay, let me invest in your business. And another thing is that somebody can just look at this business. We're still talking about ignorance. Okay, somebody that have the money to invest can be like, what will you get from waste to wealth? Like, what's the gain that I will gain from it? So
a pride man is an empty pocket man. So if you are too proud to carry waste and sell it, then what is in your pocket?
Yeah. So this is me saying that even you as an investor, you can actually invest in someone in this particular. If this person brings this kind of idea to you that okay, I want to go into the waste to wealth management management kind of thing. Sow a seed into that person's life and you will also gain from it. And everybody will go home smiling.
At the end of the day, that's the whole story of what we've been saying. It is inside waste, that's where we'll find wealth. And until when we are able to see that light, we will still continue to create a lot and lots of waste and not transition into circular economy. So my advice to you today is to tell someone that it's time that we start embracing the circular economy and ensure that all our waste turns money. So it's more like from waste down to money.
The wealth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And there are already money everywhere.
Every
And
day.
then there's no more recession. It's so easy. I guess that's all we have to take today on the show. It's been a lovely episode. Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for always having me. Relax.
It's been a lovely episode. Thank you very
Yeah.
much for
You're
joining. Don't
welcome.
forget to share, like, and also subscribe to others, and make sure you spread the word that it is inside waste. That's where the wealth is.
Yes.
Bye for now.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.